Hello, everyone. Welcome to Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today I'm here with my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we are the Biz Chicks. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We got such an engaging conversation for you today because on Mondays we're all about coffee talks. So let's get our favorite beverage. Mine happens to be water, tea, coffee, whatever it is, orange juice, whatever you're taking in this morning. Come on, sit back and relax and join in the conversation. Fran, what's our topic today?
Oh, how not to be hijacked.
Okay, let's see.
How not to be hijacked. I think we should start a book club. Anyway, I am currently reading a book called Essentialism by Greg McKeown, and I will put a link to that in the chat. And as a matter of fact, I saw it over here on Google Books. I'm like, oh, and so you can read it there. I was like, wow. But specifically, one of the things that he talked about in the book, one chapter jumped off the page because it's one of our mantras for Biz Chicks. And I thought this would be really good. So one of the things he talked about was not being hijacked, having your personal time hijacked, your business time hijacked, and things of that nature. So let's get into the conversation. He talked about boundaries, the freedom of setting limits.
Okay. All right.
Boundaries are empowering because they protect your time and your energy from being hijacked by other people's agenda.
That's so true. If you don't have one, people will give you one.
And if you don't have any gates to the castle or something, people are just going to just walk right in. I can see them now just walking through.
Disrespect your lawn.
They're just walking right on in. And so, well, how do we do that? How do we protect our time and our sanity from being hijacked by other people? So one, you're going to need to set some clear limits. Establishing boundaries helps you focus on what really, really matters. So if you already know what it is that truly matters to you and you've set up something for that, that's already a buffer and we'll get into buffers later, but that's already a barrier that you've set up. The thing that you want to accomplish, that thing is already the first line of defense.
Okay. So let's talk about that. I know that we have a number of Biz Chicks that come onto the show, and one of them is Coach Karen Fern. She says she has a limited number of yeses that she gives out every month. I think it's 3 or less. My concern is that 3 times 12 is 36. If those yeses are not for a temporary thing or a one-time thing, it even 3 yeses a month can fill up your plate. You have to really be mindful of what it is that you're agreeing to.
And so in the book, he talks about that too. So you establish what truly matters for you. What is it? We talk about this all the time. Go to the front of your own line, set up what's your important things, and then you make decisions based on your boundaries, based on the things that you have to do. based on the things that truly matter for you. Because when you focus on what truly matters for you, it reduces stress for you, and it prevents burnout from you for you.
Absolutely.
Because you are focusing in on your agendas, right? And without apology. So in the book, you learn how to say no gracefully.
I like that idea.
Yes, learning to decline non-essential commitments is crucial for maintaining your priorities. So when you maintain your priorities, you're not stressed out because you're doing something else, and now your stuff didn't get done and your project is off kilter because you did not put your priority first, and now you're feeling some kind of way. And then we have a comment here from Mark. Mark's comment is king of boundaries. Mark said he is the king of boundaries. He says it's also important to clearly communicate your boundaries. You teach people how to treat you. Yeah.
Absolutely. Here's something that I want to run by you and Mark, and that is what happens when you agree to be a part of something and then it turns into something that is a 2-year, 3-year commitment. And when you thought it started at this little piece, and then people start adding things on. Oh, and we need to do this, and we have an event in this quarter, an event in that quarter. No, we do a reveal in 2027. And what do you do with that?
You kindly tell them this was not what we agreed upon.
This is not what I signed up for.
And there's, you can say that gracefully. Well, this is more than the scope that I was willing to do, so I will not be able to participate in that. So one of the things we're going to do is avoid taking on other people's problems.
Okay.
By not absorbing their issues, you are allowing them to grow and solve their problems independently. This could be your own kids. This could be, there are a lot of people who are enablers. Is that the term I'm using? Where,
I think they're called moms, but go ahead.
Like there are people who are not concerned about their own stuff, but they got other people who are concerned about their stuff, and coming to the rescue may not be a good idea for you to do that. We've had it happen when there's certain people that there was a crisis and we jumped in to try and help with the crisis, only to find out the person really wasn't concerned about their own crisis. They were not concerned as much as the people were around them. So sometimes you need to let people kiss the pavement and be able to grow and solve their own problems. But if we keep rescuing them or putting a pillow down so they don't feel the pain, they will not. You know what I mean? They're not going to they're not going to grow. They're not going to move on. Mark says, my clients know that if they show up to an appointment beyond 10 minutes late without calling or texting me that they will be late, I do not pick up. I am not a 3-strike game. Once is all it takes. And so the boundaries work for you so that you're not stressed out. Oh, I wonder, I was coaching somebody and they were supposed to, they called and, well, I called them and they said, well, I'll call you back in 30 minutes. Okay. And 2 hours later, they called me. I didn't pick up the phone because you were supposed to call me 30 minutes from the time we talked. I'm not waiting for you to call me back. I'm not just sitting, I wonder if they're going to call. No, I got stuff to do and I'm on to another project and I cannot wait to, see if you're going to show up for the party. managing the unpredictable. This is another part of the book where it talks about you need to create buffers. I call it white space on my calendar. I have white space on my calendar for extra time for tasks to accommodate unforeseen challenges, reducing stress, and improving outcome. I put white space on my calendar.
And I allow time for stupid stuff.
Okay. So it's saying the same thing. And when you allow that, you can put your own appointments in that space. And like Terry said, if you allow for things, you put buffers so that there might be traffic. Like all of a sudden, I haven't been on the freeway in a long time, and I'm driving out, and I'm like, okay, now they got split lanes. Something's happening over here, and I was like, oh man, I should have took the service streets. Probably would have got there faster. But I had given a buffer of time so that I could get where I needed to go because of the
wonderfulness
that is happening on the road. So plan for the unexpected, anticipate potential obstacles, and prepare contingency plans to maintain your progress.
Now, there is a mouthful. In this season of volatility, you need several different ways to make things work.
Right.
Opportunities, different opportunities.
Mark says, over the years, I've learned from experience to map it all out before there is a professional relationship. This is how I work. This is what I expect. This is what you'll receive from me and how you will receive it. So you're setting up rules, your system and how things are going to go ahead of time. So everybody is on the same page, right?
Yes. Go ahead.
No, I'll go for it. I was just going to go back to my notes here.
I know that in the field of education, if you walk into most elementary school rooms, the first thing you see is a list of the rules up at the front of the room. And the rules have been agreed to. There's been a consensus between the teacher and the students. The students suggest rules, not just the teacher. And so now everybody's on board. Everybody understands what the rules mean. And so everybody is helping to enforce the consensus. But the basic thing is everybody has an understanding as to how this is going to work. What are my responsibilities? What are your responsibilities?
Yes.
And you have to set up what are your rules going to be, familiarize people with the rules, and if they want to work with you, they'll work with you.
I'm just saying.
And that's that letter of agreement that Mark is referring to, and where everything is spelled out.
So I want to bounce back to the no situation, saying no gracefully. And these are some key ideas. So without clear boundaries, others will dictate your priorities. People often overextend themselves because they haven't clearly defined their yes and no. Boundaries preserve your ability to focus on what truly matters. So if you don't have a boundary, or your boundary is kind of flexible and wishy-washy or whatever, then you will be hijacked.
And the other thing is, other people are really good at explaining why you should not have an objection to this. And so the whole thing that you need to internalize is that no is a complete sentence. It doesn't need an explanation other than you don't want to do it.
And saying no is a vital skill. Saying it gracefully is a vital skill. He talks about in the book having different ways of saying no. No, I cannot take that assignment on. I have another project. I'm in an appointment. And you are giving, it's not a cut and dry no, but you are protecting your time by saying no. I have an alternative project. No, but thank you for offering.
Thank you for thinking of me, but you need to hang up and make another call.
Okay, Terry will just cut you off, and we're not doing this. So you got to have your vocabularies of no together. Like when your mom asks you to do something, and you're already swimming in some stuff that you need to get done, and then there's this long list of and you have to how to say no gracefully. No, but thank you. I've got another project. My kids will do that. You want to go to the mall? No, I don't want to go today. They don't have a problem with boundaries. They don't want to do it. And these kids today will walk off a job that no longer suits them because they know their boundary.
And also, I think it's not just knowing your boundaries, it's also having been given the freedom to do so by the former generation. Oh, I know I have a safety net, so I can, I don't have to deal with this. I can go search for something better.
Right. And you being able to say that no, you need to be able, first of all, before you can say the no, you have to have built up within yourself your own, what is it? Your own
self-confidence.
Your own self-confidence, but putting yourself at the front of the line and being okay with being at the front of the line for whatever it is for your projects. You have a dream, a vision, a goal, an aspiration. And if you don't put those things at the front of your line above other people, not to say that you're not going to help somebody else, but you don't put all your stuff on hold running over here helping them.
Exactly.
And many people do it. Oh, if you're a people pleaser, this is your time to cut off the people pleasing and get your no vocabulary together, or your time will be hijacked. What is it that you want to do? Well, maybe you want to play golf on Monday morning, but somebody has called you and said they'd like to have a meeting with you. Oh, okay, hold on. Did you have something planned on your calendar? Stick to your plan on your calendar. I'm not available for that. Perhaps we can do Friday.
And stop adjusting your life to the point where you have no downtime. When you don't get sufficient rest, you don't have rest on your schedule, or just make sure that you get that proper rest, you will say yes to everything. Sleep deprivation is a form of torture. Get proper rest. Mark has a comment here. He says, I learned boundaries from my mom, who had none. I actually taught her a lot in her latter years about what that looks like, especially with family. Yeah, because you'll find that, you just become the go-to person for everything.
I'm going to fix it.
Yeah, or people always go to the path of least resistance.
So Mark's other comment here, he's saying, whenever you feel resentment, ask if you are the one that is responsible. Did you set clear boundaries and expectations? And see, that's the thing. People become bitter and stuff when they're feeling put upon, but they're allowing themselves to be put upon because they didn't set a boundary.
So the question is, are you a volunteer or a hostage? Dr. Tachi, yes, proper rest is essential for all systems. You really don't function at your optimal level when you are not well rested.
Yes.
So if there's
And
something keeping you up at night, you need to address that thing.
right. Now, here's something that we talked about too. My best time for getting things done and working with people is prior to 6 p.m. in the evening. I will not work on people's projects. It is very rare that I will work on a project after 6 p.m. That is not my optimal time. I know this. I recognize it. I'm in downtime. I'm looking to get dinner. I'm winding it up, get dinner, watch a show, do something, but I'm not working on a project. I have tried pushing before, working on a project. Numbers were entered. What is it? Numbers got mixed up. Stuff that I was like, text messages and other things are not right if I'm trying to push through something and it's past 6 o'clock. I'm not doing that. So I've learned where my boundaries are.
And what your peak performance
hours are. Yes, peak performance hours. So disciplined prioritization was also outlined in the book. And he says, before committing, ask, is this the very best use of my time and energy? Yeah, they want you to sing in the choir, but is that what you signed on for? You're already doing other things.
And everybody wants you in their meeting because they know that you bring a skill that they need. However, do you need to be in their meeting? You're not even in their department.
How about you are in a meeting that you're supposed to be in, but you know that if you say something about this particular thing, he talks about this too, they're going to say, wow, why don't you take that on? Stop talking and stop volunteering for things if you don't want to do them. Today,
if you can't fix the leak, stop telling people, your faucet's leaking.
Well, you might apprise them of the leak, and perhaps you can.
And then they hand you the wrench.
But that's not my specialty, so I will not be able to do that. I'm learning not to volunteer for some things, and knowing what's on my calendar, I can't volunteer for that, even though I might have the answer to what is being asked for. I'm checking my list. I'm
making a list and checking it twice.
I've made the list. I'm checking it twice. I cannot get involved with that, even though I know that it's something that I could do, but it's going to take me away from something else that is more important for me to do. So I cannot take on that assignment.
I'm not available for that assignment.
And go ahead.
That's another comment. He says, I'm with you, Francine. I had 3 clients from Hawaii for a period of time. That time difference, those late evening sessions interrupted my flow. Yes, because in the morning you're like, oh, you don't feel like exercising. You don't feel like doing anything. It's like, wow, because your body clock is off.
Right. And yeah. So if you're going to especially for global things, you're going to need to set up something. Somebody's going to have to do late night, early morning, but you need to be prepared for that. And boundaries are very empowering. I was working on something for somebody, and I just decided I'm not doing this today. They made a change in something we had agreed upon. We're getting it all together and everything is done. Then they made a change, and I'm like, okay, so that original deadline that you wanted is not going to happen. And I was okay with it. I breathed. And I was like, oh, I don't have to take this on right now. There's no shove and a push for me to get it done because you changed the goalpost, not me. So now I can circle back to that project. I can come back around to the project, but right now I still have these other things that I'm doing. So now I got to put you back in the lineup, so to speak. And I'm okay with it. I'm not, oh my God, I got to get it done. And how we're going to, no, you changed the goalpost. And it's not my responsibility. And one of the other things that I recently stumbled upon here this week, somebody wanted a particular, they asked for what are your hourly rates to do this, and they gave me a list of stuff that they wanted done. Now I had to decide, do I want to do this, and if so, how much will I charge for this? And so I ran the numbers, and I also prepared, with the help of my AI assistant, I prepared the things that they were asking for. What are the, because it's real estate related, what are the
going rates?
Not the going rates. I did ask about the going rates, but more than that, I asked about the project they're working on. What are some of the pitfalls and things that they may encounter? So I got a long list of stuff.
Whoa.
I packaged that up in an email along with my rates, and I sent it out. Now, if they don't answer back, I have my time, which is far more important to me than, you know what I'm saying? I don't
Yes,
mind getting the check, but this is I'm free to do some other things.
And it takes the stress, and we talk about that, having boundaries removes stress, removes anxiety on your part.
Yep.
And it puts the ball in someone else's court. I've said, no, I've said, this is what I'm willing to do. This is what I'm not willing to do. Now you make a choice as to whether or not you want these services, goods, whatever. But it is important because it's like cleaning off your desk. It's like decluttering your space when you are able to say, no littering beyond this point.
And there shouldn't be litter anywhere. And your space is sacred. So keep your space sacred. This is your space. This is your time. Set the boundaries. If you don't,
littering.
Right. And set a time period for working on a particular project, and or however it is that you work. This is your home. This is your time, your space. Set your boundaries for it. Enjoy the time that I should be enjoying working on whatever it is I'm enjoying, not wondering, okay, when's the next person coming? No, I have buffers now. And if I so choose, like I call it, is my white space. I got white space between my appointment times. I can put in there whatever I want. I can take a nap. I can take a walk. I can do whatever I want in that white space. I can read a book. How many times have we suggested people learn how to use their technology? Put it on your calendar to learn how to use your tech. Take some space and carve out, I'm going to take an hour today and learn everything about my phone, or I'm going to learn a new piece of information about AI, or whatever it is that you want to learn about. Create the space to do that. Keep it sacred. Protect the boundary of that, and learn how to say no politely and gracefully. Figure out your no words and how you're going to tell people no. If you set that up ahead of time on how you're going to tell people no, you'll be a lot happier. And you won't be hijacked.
Okay, Mark has a comment. He says, no one is better equipped to set yourself up for success than you. Know your needs, expectations, know
Mm-hmm.
how you work best, and set yourself up accordingly.
So, and when you set your boundaries, essentialist, this is in the book. The book is called Essentialism by Greg McKeon. He said the mindset shift. Essentialists understand that boundaries are empowering. They make better decisions faster because they know in advance what they will and will not accept.
There you go.
So here's a quote. If you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. So we want to remind you, this is how not to be hijacked. And this has been a Biz Chicks presentation. We want to thank you for tuning in today, tuning in live and on the replay. We want to let you know that you can become a part of the Biz Chicks community by texting Biz to 33777, or you can simply go to bizchicks.net, get on our Substack, and we'll be sending out information to you. We don't spam, we hate spam. So you won't be getting your inbox flooded, just to say that. So we want to say thank you for tuning in, Mark and Dr. Tachi, and all of you who are watching live and on the replay. We appreciate your time because you could have been anywhere else. And we want to say we're always here to help take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. And we will see you next time. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your week and learn how to say no. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching.